This. Hmm. Exactly. What is it? Bash has been charged with faking his own attack. Great. What's so what's so rare about that? People do it all the time. It's called victimhood. You should wait. You already do use it and live it. So let's see what they have to say. Oh, immediately laughing. They couldn't wait.
Oh man,
Of course.
oh man. Jussie Smollett. A month ago, few people knew who he was.
Okay. And who knew that by just the little manipulation of this and the flicker of that and this and that and what, all of a sudden you're worshiping him now. Because I'm gonna bring this up now, but well, I'll come back to it. I'm bringing this up. Influence. Type it in the bash and you get this. Wow, who knew? Some capacity to have an effect on the character. Oh, character. What is the character? Some Muppet. Development or behavior ritual of someone or something or the effect itself. It's just so illusory. It's just some bash flow. The power to shape policy or ensure favorable treatment from someone, especially through status, contacts, or wealth. Right, of course. Synonym: power, authority, sway, leverage, weight, standing, prestige, stature, rank, ranking, position. Wow, exactly. Everybody buys into the notion of influence. You just buy it. You're all in, and you don't even give a damn if you're wrong. A person or thing with the capacity or power to have an effect on someone or something. A person or a thing, first, with the capacity or power, some capacity or power, to have an effect on someone or something. It's just like gravity. It's like the word gravity. It's just something that it's just you're it does something. It does something. Something does something. Wow, no. It's called what do you see? Electrical or magnetic induction. Hmm. And what you see is truly based on the image and ultimately how you're supposedly quote unquote taught to interpret it. But the truth trumps. The truth just smashes all of this. Doesn't need posh words in the sense of, oh yeah, the influence of nature and the influence of man and the influence of little things that shine and shimmer and make me feel good. Smashed. It's all about worship because void the void worships itself, the light. For it is all it sees and truly all it's able to sway and leverage and weight, all hiding in prestige and position and all this stuff. But it's right there. It's a character. It's a character development. Exactly. You have the most swelled up sausage, mashed ape brain to create an image for yourself and then supposedly influence it to fruition. No, it's called abuse of life. Who knew? Who knew you're abusing your life and therefore the life of others as well? But no, 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 you say, no, that's not the influence of what I'm doing. Wow, smashed. All because you believe in yourself relentlessly. Why? Who knows? But you do it. Namely because you're void. You feel yourself void. Truly feel yourself void. Because that's why you relentlessly try to fill yourself with things to do and people to see and things to go investigate and just travel relentlessly. Wow. All for some bash, no sense of authority, station, prestige, some sort of ranking of some. No. You're in the creation of the true living God, the one and only. Receiving the life. That is the only thing. Some bash influence. No. Okay? You receive life. That is the lifeline. That is truly the source. Yet, now, if you're talking about things that just shimmer and make you ritualize something, uh, yes. Now let's talk about worship. Because if you worship the influences, wow, that means you worship in the whispers and in the murmurs. Okay, because truly, that those are the ways of uncertainty. Those are the ways of uncertainty. With uncertainty, wow, what is influence? So you get the flu when you're in ent. Wow, exactly. You're sick. You're being defiled. 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 Under the influence. Affected by alcoholic drink. Drunk. Who knew? Who knew? And they picked this choice. Wow. So they're telling you, under the effect of alcohol, it truly is an effect. It is sorcery, alchemy. All these bosh things that just, you're under the influence of what? Oh, just alcohol. Smashed. No. From Middle Earth, it comes from Middle Earth in fluor and in flow. And in late Middle Earth, and all this bash, bash, bash in flow. In fluor into, right? All this bash, bash, bash. The flowing ethereal fluid, right? In astrology, not astronomy, specifically in astrology. Right, the belief in the 1,000 points of light and how they just bash you and tell you life and everything, just panspermia and this and this. Wow, what are you doing? No. Worship God, the creator, the source. And you truly are the lifeline. So what's going on? What do you see? Because you see some vast darkness and you're just floating in the abyss and somehow this and that. What is going on? The sense, what is going on? What is going on? This is truly bashhood. Used over time. So it peaked in the 1850s somehow. And now it's gone down at least more than like a third. Lower than before in the 1800s apparently. Wow, what a shame. What a shame. So what's going on? Nobody knew this guy, so his influence apparently was no good. And he is 1,000 points of light. He's one of the 1,000 points of light. Upon 1,000 points of light, upon 1,000 points, fractals of. You guessed it. Whatever they're gonna bash you with, the images that you relentlessly consume.
If you heard Jussie Smollett, you were either talking to a huge fan of the show Empire, or you overheard a drunk guy trying to order an omelet. What will you be having?
The only omelet is your trolled, bash, half ape belief. Okay. Same with this person, because truly, what do you worship? What are you worshiping? If not your image and his image, and you probably know him from the show, this and that. Wow. Wow. Or from some drunk guy ordering an omelet. Wow. What a shame.
Sir, Jussie Smollett with extra ham.
No, that just sounds like you after getting smashed, okay? In the sense of just obliterated. By what? Alcohol? Maybe, but just what you call life. What you call life. Because truly, it's the abused version of it. And every none of these people just seem to care about it. Nope. It's just called being drunk and just being hungover, and it's called this and that, and it's called this and this and that. And just get on with it, right? Wow, what a shame. Yeah. Overcome, but no, what is it that you're overcoming? You think it's problems and situations and crises. What? No, no. What a shame. Matters of the spirit. Yes. So what are you working truly day in day out? Or is it truly just feeling tired from exhausting your flesh, laboring to somehow bring in the new era of man? What is that? What does that even mean? Smashed.
But now, the whole world knows Jussie's name, and it's for all the wrong reasons.
Empire
Is it?
actor Justice Smollett is in police custody.
Empire actor. Okay, because it's not an accident that this guy is just being bashed for something, but he's from a show called Empire. Some image worship called Empire. Wow. So what ritual are they doing? Actor charged with, wow, filling a false report. Filling out and filing some false report, and turns himself in. Turns himself in. Not was arrested or investigators. No, he turned himself in.
Custody after turning himself in overnight. He is accused of faking a hate crime after
He's accused, or he confessed. He turned himself in. Why? Okay, this is just bash, and they're telling you concrete wall. They're smashing with you.
his story of being attacked by racists fell to pieces.
Smollett has been charged with disorderly conduct for filing a false police report, which is a felony in the state of Illinois.
Police say Smollett planned this attack because he was alleged.
So he filled in the report. He passed it in. Said, teacher, I have a report to put in with false testimony or whatever. And now and then he turned himself in after that. What is going on?
Allegedly upset by how much he was being paid by the show Empire.
Are you?
Right. And of course he's gonna lose his mind about that. So his reason, of course, was because he was upset. he wasn't getting paid money, enough money. Or they just said he was upset about what he was being paid at the show. They didn't say if he wanted more. Of course, they interpreted to want more, or that he wasn't getting paid as much as the others. And perhaps he thought that by making it a racial thing, it would help his image somehow. Because he would say, "See, I got attacked, and I have the report, and look, I was attacked. It was a hate crime," and use it as some sort of leverage, influence, for his position and this and that, or to manipulate the optics of how people perceive him. I mean, it's too early sorcery. It's staring you in the face, but you deny it, and you just call it, "Oh, these people are just sick or con. They're just they just want attention. This and that and this and the other, and they're willing to go and put draw makeup on their face like to look like they were hurt, and this and that and this, or maybe even physically bash their face to look beat up. Who knows? But they're willing to go through whatever it takes for that sweet, sweet prestige that is promised. So obviously, this person was promised, and probably still is promised, glory. So he just puts his life through the glory hole, hoping for the best. He just puts it through the glory hole and just hopes for the best, all while being defiled by who knows what. But it just feels so good. Who knows? But it just feels so good. But who knows? And then it's just, who knows? It's just, you don't even know. But it just feels so good. Smashed.
You kidding me? This dude may have faked a hate crime just to get a raise? I don't understand. What's the logic there?
There is. Okay? There is, because who knew? Look. Look at all this bash. Fake death. A fake death, also called a stage death, and pseudocide, is a case in which individual leaves evidence to suggest that they are dead. And death is a cessation of all biological functions that sustain a living organism. Phenomena which commonly bring about death include aging, predation, malnutrition, disease, suicide, homicide, starvation, blah, 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 smash. This is done for a variety of reasons, such as fraudulently collect insurance money, of course, for money. To avoid capture by law enforcement, of course, for some crime. It had to be a crime. What about the people that just disappear? Huh? Is that a pseudocide? Is that pseudocide? What is going on? Where are all these people, that children that go missing? Is that pseudocide? Because apparently they're the master death fakers of all time. All these kids are just master death fakers. Just gone. Just gone. All their biological systems have ceased to be present. Yes. See? Cessation of all biological functions that sustain a living organism. Wow. Yeah. No longer in the home. Gone. Just void. You don't even know. Just faked. The perfect magician. Who knew your child was the perfect magician? Who knew? And of course, to avoid capture, blah, escape from being held hostage by abductors. Oh. Or as a practical prank. So, held hostage. Who is held hostage? And they fake their death, apparently. So, apparently, if everyone just fakes their death to get out of so-called society or so-called whatever you want to call it, but what then? Are you no longer held hostage anymore? Are you quote unquote free? No. The truth maketh you free. Not faking some bash that you can just say, oh, pseudocide. Notable fake deaths. I thought for sure they would include Jesus Christ in this. Because truly that's what people, that's the image people worship now. That is just some bash story that never, I mean, it might as well be the story of whatever bash, because to you it's just, it is some download of PDF to you. It's some Espanol and Portuguese and this and do and permanent link. But yes, it is a permanent link. It is the eternal lifeline. To what? The true promise, life everlasting. Who knew that is the only certainty? Life. Whoa! Look around you. Exactly. And life truly is where it's at. And anything else, bashhood. Okay? Because it's truly an influence that just gets you revving up and confused. Doubt. In doubt. In doubt. It influences you. And there's influences. And all the influences of the points of light and this and this and this and this and that. Smashed. So all these people faked their death, apparently. Lord Timothy Dexter. Had to be. To see how people would react. He just did it as a gag. His wife did not shed any tears at the wake, and as a result, he canned her for not being sufficiently saddened at his passing. So this guy was he just played everyone. A master deceiver. All just to see who loved him and who didn't, because he couldn't tell for sure. What a shame. Void of truth. This person is smashed. I mean, what's going on? Is that the extent at which people have to go to fake their death to somehow, like they said, escape or this or fraud or collect money, this, that? What is going on? It's it's almost like a dog when you throw the ball but you hide it behind your back, and the dog thinks it's gone, and it's ran the way it think you threw it. What a shame. Same thing with death. You think, oh, they're not here anymore. Wow, what do you know? Just because you don't see something doesn't mean some bash isn't there. Because even then, you worship the influences. So if you worship influences that some bash, someone, something, it's itself or other, I mean, this truly is just magic. So if you believe there's magic, what are you talking about? Exactly. What notion, what certainty have you? What certainty? Because if you don't even have the certainty of life, what is life? The truth, the way. What is, when you say no, it's just about trying to find something that you feel passion for, doing it, finding someone that you can cohabitate, coexist with in your own separate past lives, and maybe have children if she chooses to, and it'd be amazing. Yes. No. What a shame. What is that even? Wow, you call that life? And there's multiple fractals at this and multiple derivatives and this of possible ways and families and this. Wow, what a shame. What is going on? Fake deaths in fiction. Tom Sawyer. Oh. See, look, types of fraud, and they show you impersonating this, all mastered by the influences. Who knew? All this is the teaching of the craft of deceiving. The types of fraud, okay? And it like this: marriage and paternity, proving who's your daddy, and then marriage, something that you bash into law, man's law. No, because who knew it's about a man and woman becoming one flesh? Wow, creating the holy union, being filled and walking in the refuge of truth through the love and obedience of the Father who giveth life. Who knew? And what is obedience if not just ritualizing the behavior of life? Not your bash notion of what relative truth you think it is, or this, or just swarm think, legion think, all to be in some state of welfare, okay? To feel fair all the time. Well, I feel fair. Smashed. It truly is a hoax. A deliberately fabricated falsehood to masquerade as the truth. Who knew? It is distinguishable from errors in observation or judgment, rumors, urban legends, pseudosciences, and April Fool's Day events that are passed along in good faith by believers or as jokes. So, why would that bash fake his own death? Because it sparks it's an influence that you believe in. It's just a manipulation. It's just like in a image that already is worshiping the division between color, and they worship that division. They say, yes, it's true, and no, and this and that, give me this and give me more, and you hate me and I hate you and this. Wow, what a shame. What's going on? Smash Hood. Bash Hood. Smash Bros! Yes. And so who knew that by using the methods of Smash Bros, he turned himself in for some reason. So this guy's just pointing out what happens on a daily, and you're making a mockery of it. What a shame.
You get your ass beat, and then you go to your boss and be like, hey, can I get another $1 million? I need to buy some Band-Aids. What was the thinking? That's not a good way to get a raise, people. I mean, call me old-fashioned, but whatever happened to just going into your boss's office and blackmailing him with nudes, okay?
Exactly. Smashing with truth and presenting it as funny. But that's what comedy is. Because they have to entertain you with what you actually live in on a daily. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know what he's saying. Whether it's something that you know or that just makes you uncomfortable because it's something you know, but you don't like to hear it. But all these things it's just funny because it's just ironic. It's slightly uncomfortable. That's why it's like a nervous laugh. Or sometimes somehow you can't say, yeah, of course, now I can laugh. But it's just shame. Bashed.
This is such a petty reason to pull off such a major crime. Imagine if we found
Major
out the
crime?
reason
is faking a death. Faking your death is a major crime. Pseudocide is a major crime. Who knew? What a shame. What are they even saying? Why aren't they charging the relentless children that have pseudocided their way out of society? No, bring them back and make them work like the rest of us. Come on. No, they can't because they're either dead or defiled and doing the bidding of those who handle them. And now they're probably handling other children and doing the same that was done to them. Wow. And it truly is legion and swarm because who knew that they're chameleons placed. They're placed and planted. Just like this Kabash planted himself.
Faked his own death was just to get out of a blockbuster late fee. That would be insane.
So now just lather you with some bash notion to just confuse you again.
We know that didn't happen. What really happened was Tupac was murdered by Blockbuster because he didn't return Forrest.
Exactly. They had to bring him up because he's going to say, oh, people believe that he's still alive and this and this and that he faked his death and this and that and this and this. And now bashing it with some bash. But no, what really happened? What happens to people that supposedly are stirring things too much? Who knows, really? Are they just murdered? What's going on? Is it murder or what happens? Do they fake their death, stage everything? Or is it all just image worship? Who knows? Was he part of it? Who knows? Of course he was part of it. So if he was part of it and oh no, he just upset them too much and now they had to take him. What? In the philosophy of these people, it's about as much influence as you can have in having people just worship you. And by worshiping you, they're actually bringing in about a ritual of a particular state of living. Not life, a state of living. And they're in control of that. They call it their hierarchy and this, but no, it's all because you're in denial of what life is. You're abusing life, thinking, oh, I have to fit through here. I have to fit through this tunnel and that one. No, why? It's like you're a dog made to go around some bash obstacle course, and you love it. Because you get treats relentlessly smashed. What a shame. What a shame. Truly lost and worshipping some bash.
Those guys didn't mess around. So, Chicago police have put together a story of what they believe really happened. And
They put up a story. So has this person not made a statement? No, we're just reporting this story without knowing anything.
Enough to charge Smollett. And the reason they're confident enough to charge him is because it looks like Jussie and the brothers who reportedly faked the attack with him left no shortage of incriminating evidence.
So these are the henchmen, apparently. Right. So they came from, what, Nigeria, you said? Paid to do this, and then they flew back? What's going on?
Police say they track these two
Or they live
brothers
in,
down
they
via
live here.
the ride-share car service that they used.
We know that the police have the cell phones of the young men.
There were conversations between Smollett and these...
Okay, so all these things point back to that. So fine. And do you know what would happen? What would happen? Nothing. But everything is connected, is it not? Yes, because that's what you call the supposed influence. But no, it's just a ritual. How you're abusing your life to just come across as an image that is captured. And then how you judge it with your filthy man's ways and man's wisdom. Your filthy, earthly wisdom, just bound by what you can synesthesia your bash into. What a shame.
Two Nigerian Americans an hour before the attack, an hour after the attack, and when they traveled to Nigeria.
Police say Smollett paid the brothers a total of $3,500.
3,500. So this guy's being sold out for $3,500. Wow, what a shame.
Via check, and then promised a $500 follow-up.
So $4,000 each, perhaps, but so he paid them to fake his own death.
They're saying he paid
Or his
the
attack.
accomplices with a check.
Who knew?
What, did he also write fake hate crime in the memo?
Okay, because who knew that faking just fraudulent fake staging. So what's the ultimate stage, right? And you say, "Oh, life's a stage." No. Life is the mold, the way that has been set for you. It truly is the purpose. So do you see? And walk in the new sense of, look, what is this? What's a pioneer? A person who is among the first to explore or settle a new country or area. Synonym, settler, colonist, colonizer, blah blah blah, smash. A person who is among the first to research and develop a new area of knowledge or activity. A famous pioneer of birth control. They couldn't wait. Synonym, developer, innovator, blah blah blah, trailblazer, and more. In the former Soviet Union and other communist countries, a member of a movement for children. Wow, of course, always the children. Below the age of 16 that aim to foster communist ideals. So, indoctrination centers. Amazing. A member of an infantry group preparing roads or terrain for the main body of troops. Verb. Develop or be the first to use or apply a new method, area of knowledge, or activity. Right. So in your blood is the blood cells and the medium, plasma. And you call it this and that and this and that. But what is it? Life in itself. Is it, or is it just a pot? What is it? Who knows? But it's some certain thing. So if truly the blood of Christ was spilled, it truly set, because what is this? Again, Bash, what is Bash? Again, plasma, the colorless fluid part of blood. The ionized gas consisting of positive ions and free electrons in proportions resulting in more or less no overall electric charge, typically at low pressures, as in the upper atmosphere and in the fluorescent lamps, or very high temperatures, as in stars and nuclear fusion. So again, bash, but look, early 18th century in the sense of a shape, in the mold of its shape, to form. Placing, to shape. So in this spilling of the blood of Christ was the reshaping, okay, of life. Showing you that there truly is no such thing as what you call death. It's either eternal desolation, sufferings, or life. Who knew? Because that's what it is. Life in life is life. Life without life is desolation. Life meaning life. Do you know the truth? How can you not see the life? The only certainty, the true lifeline to the true promise, life everlasting. Yes, but no, it's just my little hamburger flesh, and I just have to make sure I have influence and I'm respected and loved by the ways of the world. What a shame. So this guy instead faked his own spilling of plasma to create some mold interpretation of this and that. So and who knew that by spilling blood and killing all these children, it's the defilement, the defilement against the way, the truth, and the life. It's a total spit in the face and saying this is our way, my will on earth. It is man's will on earth, and we relinquish it and just lavishly live as much as we can, all while just grinding, thinking we're boasting and we're coming together and organizing and forming some hive mind of progression of what? Just more confusion. False love, filled with false love and lust for just everything. What a shame.
Even amateurs know if you commit a crime, you go all cash, people. No paper trail.
Okay, sad.
You've never seen a movie where the bad guys are like, is that Knuckles with a checks? Ah! Horrible job. Wanted his.
Police say they went over security video by a
Bash.
rotating security camera.
I believe that Mr. Smollett wanted it on camera, but unfortunately that particular camera wasn't pointed in that direction.
Right. So truly, who knows? Because he filed a report that they say he said it was a hate crime. But then he turned himself in. Or did he submit a report saying something that he was... Who knows what it said? But now it's this story. He faked his own attack. And the cameras don't have it. So now he's the fool. Or was there something captured in some confrontation or something? And now it's gone. And you're presented with this story. Amazing. Either way, pass, because either way, it's just in your face that this happens every day, and it's not just him that does it. Because you don't have to plan an attack. You plan just a situation or to steer a conversation a particular way, or have, somebody concede to this or the other, or have somebody think that they're making you do something, but then you have a plan to it's just manipulation in and out and contorted and just bending you over, relentlessly splitting you in half and calling it nothing and just laughing at you, mocking you like this guy. So what's going on?
You've got to be shitting me. He wanted to be caught, but he didn't get caught on camera because he didn't know which way the camera was pointing. You're an actor. That's your...
Oh, he said, he said, you're an actor. Okay, this is enough of this bash. So he's an actor. Exactly. So this whole story is just bash. Faked his own attack based on some racial premise that backfired, apparently. And he turned himself in. All because he was upset about what he was being paid. Really? Smashed. Sounds like some sort of damage control of some sort. Of the empire. Is it? Or is it just further smashing you and telling you the obvious, which is, wow, people use the victimhood of 33rd degree to get what they want.
What does the system teach?
We live in a democracy.
So what is okay? A mashup. We're gonna watch this mashup, but it's gonna take a while. Is it? No. The red and the blue smashed.
And, well, it's a republic, obviously.
If you're bound, what? If you're black, get back. Wow. What is all this others? I mean, first of all, this person has the worst chalkmanship, okay? Her artistry with that chalk is subpar. Wow. And she's a professor. I mean, aren't you supposed to be teaching in a way that it's understood and people can write this down? What is going on? It just looks like you let a bunch of 5-year-olds get up on the chalk and draw a bunch of stuff. Amazing. But you call, oh no, it's just the wisdom of man is just so amazing.
See, I can do this in London. Same, if you were yellow.
So she's preaching to the choir because they're all just repeating in the
in
crowd.
America's white people.
If you're white,
We're
you're
still the
right.
majority.
What? See, I mean, this is hilarious. And they're presenting you just contradicting arguments here.
And I will have as many kids as I have to maintain that.
They may take our lives. See, now this is just color code.
Really? Okay, so that guy's in the minority because most people don't want to have kids. They see kids as a hassle. They see as kids as getting in your way of freedom, of traveling, and of just smashing as many people as you can, and of just defiling yourself relentlessly. And others, of course. But all in the name of your reward and your gratification of you're prolonging some sense of comfort that you think you have, some sense of freedom, some sense of youth and vigor and just love of the world, exactly, that you just can't get enough, all because of these lines that somehow connect, and somehow you know all these bash things, and wow, you're just so liberated.
And you guys have to as well.
Because the more genetic power you have, your skin is crystal black. A next lesser.
Oh, it's just all about genetics, right? And of course, in the last bash who faked his attack, he presented it as a what? Was he gonna say it's a violent crime against him? Or no? What was going on? What is going on? Use of this bash hood, yes. Application of it, practicum. You use it because it's out there. So who knew that it's not have anything to do with the color of your skin, but totally in the way that you're led to worship the light, which showeth all the shades under the rainbow that you relentlessly worship. Who knew? And by worshiping them, you're relentlessly aware of them. So who knew that you're going to see them everywhere? What a shame.
Level of melanin production, so-called brown. Slide red in there. And yellow.
A red nigger,
White
she
is
said.
none at
Wow.
all.
Amazing.
And so it stands to reason if the system is about white genetic survival.
If the system is about white survival, is it? Didn't it actually require the nations to bring about a so-called system? And you say, oh, yeah, well, of course, that's the conquest and the colonial mentalists and all this stuff. Smashed. It was truly the deception of nations that led to the aberration of emplacing Babylon, that which distorts image for its self-preservation, and it will do whatever it takes. Fine, if it takes having all these people think that they're against each other, fine, let it be so. A wedge between anything is gain in Groundhog Day. Yes.
Dark has to be out.
Every single demographic except for white males skews left.
So
Really?
parents bring the little children to the psychiatrist.
So everyone who skews is in the left. What?
Dr. Welsing, my daughter says she's going to kill herself because the boys say she's too dark to date.
White males are key because
Wow,
they're strong.
trauma, victimhood to the 33, just bashing, right? And belief, worship. Because, fine, if somebody says that to you, they're filled with anger, hate. Okay. So, what do? And no, you say, oh, well, they actually become violent. They become violent. And what? Violence of what? The flesh? You're already doing that to yourself and others in swarm legion ways, and you don't even see it. You don't even see it. So just because you pick one aspect of the light to just beat on and beat with and have beat you back and just relinquishing that beating off, wow, it's just a relentless beat off, isn't it?
Well, white males are.
Which doll is the black doll? And which one is the white doll?
That one.
Which doll is the...
So, immediately dividing and presenting the dichotomy. Which one is... So, they know colors, right? Children know colors, don't they? And in all the bash movies that they see, all the programming that's out there, yes, it's the white light that comes in and blasts the darkness away, right? So what's going on?
Pretty doll. Which doll is
the pretty doll?
The nice doll.
So this is just the handler and indoctrination. So he's laughing and he points to that one.
Which doll is the bad doll?
And this one. She's pointing to herself. I'm the bad one.
Which doll is the nice doll?
White males are key.
Right? And most people will say, oh, how terrible. But the children are the ones committing pseudocide. They're faking their deaths, people. They're the master wizards, right? No. You've been conned.
Because they're a stronghold. White males are into small government, owning guns, having land.
So white people, he's speaking for white people, and that's what they stand for. Smashed.
We aren't very sold on Cortez.
See, we have to cure.
You have to mention that bash Cortez. What? Pre-Hispanic and Mayan and Aztec. Cortez. Yes, of course, it's the same bash, rehashed and smashed.
If we're going to have any response going this way.
If we have any response going up to W plus blacks and the WK and the BK and the 2000 and the 40 and the 1000, then it'd be all good from the moon, because we live on the moon and there's a relentless hot dog there to be swelled. And the half shade that's here is the crescent moon coming in, and the waning and the waxing and wax on and wax off. Because, yes, this is what it is. Smashed.
We have to cure color sickness.
Color sickness. We have to cure it.
Hair sickness.
So people, get out there and cure it. Organize and act. Take action. Take the power back. What is, wow.
Are you all with me?
Are you all with me?
Just embrace yourself. Just say, this is fake.
See, and you couldn't wait. Just love yourself relentlessly. Do as thou wilt. Realize that, hey, I love myself so much.
Fascinating. I tell my patients, don't say I'm stupid. Just say, this is interesting. This behavior
This is
that I have
interesting.
is
Is it
fascinating.
interesting times? Smashed.
The behavior is just coming from what the system is ramming 24/7.
Ramming like that.
Non-stop.
So what do? They pump.
It's ramming you nonstop, but with what? So they're telling you, they're bashing you and keeping you down, and just because your color. No. See, this bash is just bashed. They've used different dynamics to bash all nations, all creeds, and all colors. Who knew? Every nation thinks they're doing something for the grander cause. Of what? Because to you it's just progress and GDP and this and this and this and that and this and this and stats this and WH that and UN this and smashed. What a shame. And the commerce and the economy and blah 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 and the Dow and the index and all this smashed. What a shame. What a shame.
Pump us full of soy and nonsense and propaganda in school, all that stuff. It doesn't work fast enough.
It doesn't work fast enough. Yet there's a whole entire bashhood that you've been delivered into by your parents. Delivered and sold for the highest promise of reward. But nay, it's all bashhood to keep you split and fighting some cause that you don't even know. It's a dead end.
It's genetic survival. See, teach them to hate
It's
themselves.
Groundhog Day. Abandon the ways of the world. Deny the ways of the flesh, for they truly bring in just suffering. And that is the promise of Satan. In suffering is the true worship of man. For it's then up to his own efforts and will to have less of it and call it living. What a shame.
And then all we have to do is bring some drugs in. Well, first we have to have unemployment.
And here's...
So they said first they caught us with unemployment and then they brought in the drugs and smashed. Okay. So they were smashing South America and Central America and Mexico and just all in the name of just smashing the darkest people, right? What a shame. No. It's to overall just destroy. Destroy with the means of deceiving. Because everyone's just manifesting swarm ways of the state of void. Believing yourself void. Because that's what truly you worship. Nothing. But no, you think you worship nothing, but you relentlessly worship yourself. And how you're out there smashing and trying and relentlessly organizing, reorganizing, smashed.
$45,000 take care of himself, a wife and 2 children.
45,000.
Oh, no, we would rather have him locked up.
Right? We'd rather have him locked up, put in jail.
Learn how to be a lady.
This is why it matters.
Learn how to be a lady. Wow.
And I'll tell you why I focus on him so intensely. Because
the person doesn't have to feel bad. No, a system is operating on us that we don't have a clue about.
A system that's operating on us that we don't have a clue about. Yet you relentlessly live and engage in it day in, day out. Cognitive dissonance, split, totally defiled, combobulated, discombobulated, disassembled and assembled and put to smithereens.
Weed? How about the fact he pushes DMT, mushrooms, acid, ayahuasca, sodomy, like all his enchantments?
Where there is no vision, the people will perish.
Right. So, what this person calls a system, and they're just showing you the two sides, right? The other person saying this and no. Look, all this mess that's on this board is could be summed up as the web of the invisible hand that actually has institutions and corpses run by certain names and logos and mission statements this, mission statements that, vision statement that, and just promoting the worship of itself through your belief in it, calling it life. That is the way of life. That is the way of man. Smashed. But who is... It's man doing it to himself. So, man doing it to himself, but this person calls it the system. Oh, the system. No, you're doing it to yourself. All the while just crying and stating that it's oppression, this, and racial divide, that, and it's all about the supremacy of something and some bash. No, it's the worship of the light and the worship of Lucifer. What a shame.
Where there's no understanding, the people will perish.
Who knew that no understanding means doubt? Doubt only comes about, it only exists through doubt. Uncertainty exists only through deception. From being deceived, meaning from seeing something that, or from what you see, believing the contrary, splitting yourself. So, bash knowledge, look, knowledge. Facts, information, and skills, like a recipe, ingredients. So, knowledge apparently is about facts, then information, then skills. What a shame. Through the experience or education, the theoretical or practical understanding of a subject. And so just understanding theory of a subject, of something. What is known in a particular field or in total. Facts and information. Philosophy. True, justified belief. Certain understanding as opposed to opinion. So they mention here, certainty. Is it? So when doubt promises knowledge, it's promising you something you already have. Awareness or familiarity gained by experience of a fact or situation. It's an experience that is gained. Wow. No. So truly the promise of knowledge is just an experience. It means nothing. The experience of, being exposed to some theory and then presenting it as fact. What? Bashed. Because life, what else is needed than life to show with what is? Well, it's there. Look. But no, it has to be knowledge. Phrases. Origin, Old English. Acknowledge, recognize. The observative power, who knew? So what is done with that observative power? Is it, do you believe, are you deceived in believing that the observative power is facts and information? No. Wow. What is going on? Define no. To be aware of through observation. Be aware of through observation, inquiry, or information. Have development, a relationship with someone through meeting and spending time with them. To know. And how does that happen? Ritual, behavior, exactly. Archaic, have sexual intercourse with. One flesh? Become one flesh. Recognize, identify, to know. So, what is if they say knowledge is power? Truly, the observative power is to know. It's knowing. But what do you see? Exactly. You're led to believe that it's seeking out information and counsel of the world. No. What do you see? What do you recognize? What do you acknowledge? Because look, now define ledge, a narrow horizontal surface projecting from a wall, cliff, or other surface. So they're telling you, yes, observe and then go off the ledge. An underwater ridge, especially of rocks beneath the sea near the shore. Mining, a stratum of metal, or ore-bearing rock, a vein of quartz, or other mineral. Lay, ledge, middle earth. Denoting a strip of wood above, perhaps from an early form of lay. Ledge sense dates from the mid-16th century. Smashed. So, a narrow horizontal surface. So, truly the wisdom of the Father and the way that has been shown through His only begotten flesh, Christ, the blood that was spilled, the mold, the reshaping, okay, of that reverberates, okay, and it truly to that knowing, okay, has truly affected, just been written. Be absolute certain or sure about something. When you have certainty to know. But falling out of that, then you have uncertainty. And then that's why you have to go out and fill yourself with supposed information and experience. Of what? No, what do you see? And it's not certainly about exposing yourself to some experience of fact or situation and then call that knowledge. What is going on? Because truly it's in the way you ritualize and live that you know. Yes. That you're one flesh. Yes. And you endure the flesh and overcome. Yes. Not become just some bash, that is just so confused and wow, it's just such a mess and we're pounded by it relentlessly day and day. Oh, so hard.
So we have to make up our minds.
Yes, make up your mind. Do you worship and continue living in these ways and accepting and just trying to better them somehow and this and that? Or do you worship the one and only true living God and say yes to the Christ that reshaped what? And reneweth all. It's finished. And what do you see? No. You see how you don't want it to end and you don't want it to be finished. And no, I want to create my own way, but look, they want to kill us. Look. And it's the other people that are trying to do it. Look, just bash against bash. No. It's a spiritual battle for your soul. Do you see? Do you embrace the lifeline that is the true promise of life everlasting that you are living in the flesh. Wow. But just because you think that you're void, somehow you worship this now. Some null, some ledge. Why? Because you have denied your observation. You have denied yourself. You have denied yourself of the life in efforts to create one for yourself. And calling that just, because the only justice is of the Father. Truly, the relentless bringing life forth, and out of that life that is brought forth, yes, there is life that grows, another that just returns to the dust. All still a while allowing itself to reintegrate and rebirth the true material flesh. For life is just relentlessly bringing forth life through something you don't exactly, the invisible aspect. But this is a thing. You worship the invisible thing that shimmers, not the invisible thing that provides the certainty that you live, and then bash and call it your life and how you're getting better and learning and making mistakes and this and that smashed.
That, wait a minute, we better understand this.
Right? So Joe Rogan has a lot of white males that watch him. White males are the elusive, slippery little bastard that the left can't get.
You ever start wondering where the people who
Right.
have moved out with gentrification, where are they?
Gentrification, where are they?
Where are they going? Out of sight?
So this person is crying, oh, where are all the people going? Where all these centers are there? Where are they being marginalized to? Well, they're just master pseudociders, I guess. Just like the children. So what's going on? What is going on? Mass sorcery.
Out of mind. And if we are in a state of not caring about ourselves,
Oh, she couldn't wait. Caring about yourself. Just about yourself relentlessly. It couldn't be about acknowledging the life you're living and how we're all just abusing it and ourselves. And it's not about loving yourself. What are you saying?
we won't even raise the question.
Coalition.
If you don't worship yourself, you won't even raise a question. Well, all these people don't care. That's why all of this has happened. Because it's been an infringement on your life. Yes. The swarm has just grabbed a hold of whatever it could, the footstool, and now it's fully in defiling.
Of men who have white male followings.
See, we will not raise the question because, what, I don't care about myself? I don't like...
No, you do care about yourself so much that's why you don't even ask. Because who knew it's so good out there? And it's only the pushers of victimhood that relentlessly teach this nonsense. So that the few that experience violence and anger and the defiling ways of the world can have things to blame. Because it certainly couldn't be what we're worshiping. No, it couldn't be. No, 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 no. It's just that there's people under the system. And the system is just telling them what to do. Wow, what a shame. What a shame.
The way I look,
The system is just there because you already worship it, so therefore you believe and put it in place. And keep it in place. Whether you put it in place or not, you keep it in place. And you say, no, well, we're trying to change it. No, it changes you.
It's okay if I'm dead.
These are facts.
It's okay if I'm dead. Use your facts. And that was it.
In New Hampshire a long time ago. And I told the white people, I said, you know, maybe we owe you all an apology. We black people. So maybe we were the first child abusers. Because we are the first people. How many people are reading the articles that are coming?
Oh, wow. She's saying, maybe we owe you guys all an apology because we were the first child abusers. Because we were the first people. Who all agrees that out of Africa theory and all this stuff and this and this and that. But who knew that, wow, she brought up something very important. Child abuse. Because who knew that all this thing that she has written down and this is child abuse. And now as a so-called adult, you have to still engage in it. Who knew? And it doesn't matter what color you are. It's just child abuse. To make sure you will blame certain things and not what you actually are made to live and ritualize and believe and worship. No, not that, not any of that. Just the things that prevent you from getting money and this and that. Smashed. And what the world calls opportunity. What a shame.
Coming out of Africa about how black people are treating the albino mutants. Yes. Mistreating them, right?
Mistreating them, right? That's right. So, did she apologize?
Either he just is disgusted by his own audience and doesn't care at all for their intelligence, or he's retarded.
Right. So, this Bosch video was about nothing. It's just the doll experiment. Exactly. Pitting you against two Bosch things. Effigies of what you truly are. But then you're going to point out and live one of the effigies, the false images that have been presented for you relentlessly. And it doesn't matter whether you think it's a doll experiment or not. You do choose a Bosch image because that's what you're living. And it's what you identify, what so-called gives you a sense of reward and accomplishment and this and that and that and that. Smashed. Defiled. All because you deny the true sacrifice, the Savior. Because everybody's waiting for a Savior. No. It's finished. So what do you see? Because no man can save himself. Abide in the way that has been shown by the spilling of Christ's blood. Or truly fake your death. Because you're living a life that you're thinking is a life, but you're faking your own death. It's pseudocide. Because you're truly staging. You believe life to be a stage. So you're living a proxy life. It's death. It's truly death. It's the complete inversion, okay? And so you're a fraud. All because you want some sweet, sweet coin. And leverage and influence and bash. What a shame. And this is the false promise that is it's hung in front of you, thinking that you will catch it, But no, you're always chasing it. Because all you truly have is just experience. Meaning, day in, day out life. Okay? And how you think that that gives you some sort of, familiarity. Wow. What do you see? What do you see? For truly, Christ did show it the way, and he did fulfill his promise of returning for his for his children, and he did reign for 1,000 years. And now, Lucifer is amongst deceiving the nations once again. But what do you see? No, you see just people are just bash, and they've always warred and killed each other, and this and that and this and this. So that's what we're doing it today. What a shame. You know nothing of so-called history. It's all just been defiled. It's truly about the observative power to stay clear from the ledge. But instead, it's told that with some sort of information and skill and this and fact, you will be able to jump off the ledge. What a shame. That is death, the true promise of Satan. But no, you think it life and some sort of legacy and immortality. Smashed. All because of the influences that have tickled your ear and your sense of emotive state, enthralled, enamored you. Because you have forgotten that which is exactly filled with, just filled, but it is neither, it does not produce an electric charge. Of course, the current passes through a column of plasma. It is the waters, if not the medium by which, at a specific density, filling relentlessly all densities. Who knew? Amazing. We'll end it there.